Good evening, everybody. Welcome to First Responder Broadcast coverage of Georgetown Eagle baseball. We're on the road tonight live here at Dripping Springs High School for tonight's ball game between the Dripping Springs Tigers and your Georgetown Eagles. Dripping Springs, the home team out of the third base dugout, hosting in non-district play. Dripping Springs out of District 26, or 6A, Region 4, District 26. And they have the bye week in district play. And they play host to your Eagles tonight. Beautiful field here at Dripping Springs High School. 320s down the line on this all-turf field. Green grass for the green turf for the grass. Brown turf for the infield, home plate, and pitcher's mound of this beautiful complex. 320 down the left field and right field lines. 375 to dead straightaway center field to the green wall on the batter's eye. Straight up in dead center field. Dripping Springs coached by Chris Payne. They come into the ball game. We flip through. I've got all the stats pinned down so the wind doesn't get us. 16-8-0 on the year, 8-2 in district play. They come in averaging 5.9 runs a game, allowing 2.9 runs per game. Georgetown comes in 13-9-1 overall, 7-3 in district. They come in averaging 6 runs a game, allowing 3.1 runs per game. This series, Georgetown leads at 5-4-1 against Dripping Springs, but Dripping Springs in 2021 took the last two meetings between these two teams on May 7th and May 8th, and they have the last two wins in this series. That is a close one. 5 wins for Georgetown, 4 wins for Dripping Springs, and 1 tie. Georgetown comes off the win on Saturday. They beat the Round Rock Dragons 4-3. Eastview beat Belton 11-5. Elgin beat Glenn 7-1. Hendrickson topped Cedar Park 9-8. And Del Valle upended Pflugerville 7-3. In district play tonight for 5A, Region 3, District 23. Pflugerville's at Weiss, Elgin at Eastview, and Hendrickson is on the road at Conley. And so the last 2 weeks of district play, Georgetown has the week off from district play, so their schedule stays busy, though. They are here tonight at Dripping Springs. Tomorrow night we'll have the coaches show at Camp Brightside, 6:45 start. We'll have Coach Chad Payne with us. And then on Thursday night we'll welcome in the Cedar Ridge Raiders at a 7 p.m. start. And then Saturday we will be on the road to take on the Lake Travis Cavaliers in Lake Travis at a 1 p.m. start right after the game right before it for JV or freshmen. And so join us there back home on Thursday night or on the road on Saturday. Eagle baseball in full tilt in this non-district week against some good 6A competition here on the road at Dripping Springs, Cedar Ridge at home, and at Lake Travis on Saturday. Georgetown tonight, the visitors out of the first base dugout in the all grays, gray pants, gray tops with the knee-high pants, blue socks, blue shoes, blue helmets. Georgetown in capital block print lettering across the front in blue of the gray jerseys with blue numerals on the back of those gray jerseys. Out of the first base dugout, the Dripping Springs Tigers, the home team, out of the third base dugout. All whites with the maroon pinstripe. Tigers in capital block print lettering in maroon on the front of those white jerseys with maroon numerals on the front and back, with the maroon hat with the DS logo in gold and white out of the third base dugout. The starting lineups for tonight's ball game. The Dripping Springs Tigers, the home team, will start this way, as selected by the coaching staff, head coach Chris Payne. Leading it off at second base, number 4, Trey Perry. Batting second, the first baseman, number 28, Jason Steele. Batting third, the center fielder, number 13, Taylor Tracy. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 3, Connor Helms. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 12, Tristan Johanowitz. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 18, Jack Tyndall. Batting seventh, the DH, number 16, Dom Hurley. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 9, Parker Salsi. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 2, Gavin Hull. So it'll be Perry, Steele, and Tracy in the top third. Helms, Johanowitz, Tyndall in the middle third. Hurley, Salsi, and Hull in the bottom third for the Dripping Springs Tigers. The Georgetown Eagles come in under head coach Jordan Vieira. Assistant coaches Chad Payne, David Durrell, Jason Key, and Frank Anzuris. The starting lineup, as selected by head coach Jordan Vieira, will go this way for the Georgetown Eagles. Leading it off at catcher, number 23, the sophomore Connor Young. Batting second, the right fielder, senior number 4, Tate Ritchie. Batting third, the third baseman, number 16, senior Hayden Grooms. Batting fourth, the first baseman, senior David Fluitt, wearing number 12. Batting fifth, the center fielder, the sophomore, number 24, Cooper Thomas. Batting sixth, the DH, number 14, junior Braden Rogers. Batting seventh, in left field, number 9, it's Colton Crutchfield. Crutch bats in the 7 slot. The shortstop, Jack Kiki, number 7, bats 8. And the junior shortstop there. And in the 9 slot, the senior second baseman, number 6, Luke Holly. On the mound for your Georgetown Eagles tonight will be number 10, the senior right-hander, Hagen Tate. He will face off against the senior right-hander for the the Dripping Springs Tigers, number 10, Cooper Rummel. So Georgetown will respond with Young, Ritchie, and Grooms in the top third, Fluitt, Thomas, and Rogers in the middle third, Crutch, Kiki, and Holly in the bottom third for your Georgetown Eagles. Cooper Rummel, the senior right-hander, will go for Dripping Springs on the mound to start the ball game. He is the University of Texas commit in his senior season here, and he will lead the Dripping Springs Tigers tonight on the mound as Coach Chris Payne from Dripping Springs heads to the home plate area with head coach Jordan Vieira and manager Jared Frimmel for Georgetown to meet with a three-man umpire crew tonight here at Dripping Springs, Texas. Overcast, but a beautiful night. Not much of a strong wind, but a little bit of a face wind coming in out over the left field wall here tonight in Dripping Springs. We'll take a quick time out and get things started. And when we come back, we'll have the introductions, the national anthem, and we'll be ready for baseball time here on the SHN Sports Network. Thanks for joining us tonight. Take a quick break. Georgetown Eagle Baseball continues in a moment.
Royalty, put blame on me. Hate my trends. Word up OG, watch how you talking your tone. What I be on, you cannot make me a clone. You already know T versus T. Tagging the limits won't fit the criteria. Here in stereo, saying American. Hang around you and your crew's embarrassing. Take that sneak post down, flexing on me is hilarious. Don't take it from me, I put it in work. Listen to see where I've been. I am the foretelling by the masses. Read by the skull on my saber and pen. Put down the mic and he calling me in. Can I receive? Ain't do it for them. You living and breathing one in.
The Dripping Springs Tigers.
We'll go to the PA announcer for tonight's introductions.
Leading off, the catcher, number 23, Connor Young. Batting second, the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Batting third, the third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 12, David Fluitt. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 24, Cooper Thomas. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 14, Braden Rogers. The designated hitter will hit for pitcher, number 10, Hagen Tate. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 6, Luke Holly. The Eagles are coached by Jordan Vieira, assisted by Chad Payne, David Durrell, James Key, and Frank Anzures, and the rest of the Eagles. Now the starting lineup for the Tigers of Dripping Springs. Leading off the second baseman, number 4, Trey Perry. Batting second, the first baseman, number 28, Jason Steele. Batting third, the center fielder, number 13, Taylor Tracy. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 3, Connor Helm. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 12, Tristan Jahanowitz. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 18, Jack Kendall. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 16, Dom Hurley. Designated hitter will hit for number 10, Cooper Rummel, the pitcher. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 9, Parker Salsey. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 2, Gavin Hall. And the rest of the Tigers. The Tigers are coached by Chris Payne, assisted by Steven Skotek, Jason LaRock, and Bobby Mancuso. Would you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem? Now we have a very special at Rooster Springs Elementary School. He's a pitcher, he's a catcher, he's the second baseman for the 11U Lone Star Baseball Club. Let her rip, Landon.
So we get ready to go here at Tiger Field, Dripping Springs High School, for tonight's matchup. The Dripping Springs Tigers going through warm-ups here in the top of the first. The senior right-hander, Cooper Rummel, on the mound for the Dripping Springs Tigers. He'll face off against the top three in the Georgetown lineup in Young, Ritchie, and Grooms. On Thursday night, Round Rock, I'll get it right here in a minute. Dripping Springs will be at home against McCallum. And then next week, they have their final district series as they will face off on the 22nd here at home against Westlake. And then they'll finish their regular season on the 25th of April at Westlake. Georgetown, they're scheduled the rest of this week on Thursday night back home at Cedar Ridge. Saturday at Lake Travis at 1 p.m. And then next week, on Tuesday, on the road at home against Pflugerville, and then Friday the 25th at home at Pflugerville High School to take on the Panthers in the final regular season game. And a lot to watch there in District 23 action for Georgetown to see what direction the standings go. Eastview, if they win out, will only have 2 losses in district, and so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. They have a tough series against Elgin this week, who's fighting for a playoff position. And then they end the season with a tough series against the Henderson Hawks, who are also fighting for a playoff spot against with the rest of the District 23. Pflugerville and Elgin have been eliminated from the playoffs. Pflugerville and Conley have been eliminated from the playoffs. Weiss in a battle after they went 2-0 against Georgetown last week. And so it'll be interesting to see how Weiss does this week to continue their winning ways, if they can do that. To wreak havoc on the standings for District 23. Throw down to second there for the Tigers, and we'll get ready to go to action defensively here in the top of the first inning. The Dripping Springs Tigers will have Saucy in left, Tracy in center, Tyndall in right, Chahanowitz at third base, Helms at short, Perry at second, Steele at first, Hole behind the mound, and Rummel on the bump for the Dripping Springs Tigers. I'm going to mix it up a lot tonight. I grew up in Dripping Springs. I live in Georgetown. I am back home tonight. Got a good chance to talk to Cooper Rummel's dad, and that is Doug Rummel, who I grew up playing baseball with, and his dad, Douglas Rummel, who was one of my coaches growing up, and so such a fun time coming back home here in Dripping Springs. Rummel will work out of the windup, first base side of the rubber, to face off against the left-handed hitting catcher Connor Young for the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. 93 miles an hour on the gun there. 0-1 the count to Connor Young. Rummel from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. That one skips in for ball one, evens it up, 1-1 the count. Connor Young, sophomore catcher, steps back in from the left side, throws right, bats left. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two, 1-2 the count. Tate Ritchie, the right fielder, on deck. Nathan Grooms, the third baseman, in the hole for Georgetown here in the top of the first inning. Rummel from the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, back out of play down the third baseline. 1-2 remains the count. We'll reset and do it again here with Connor Young here in the top of the first at Dripping Springs at Tiger Field. Young back in, Rummel to look in, gets the sign from his catcher hole. The 1-2 pitch. Skips it in, ball two, 2-2 the count out. Young back in for the left side, Rummel from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Slash foul down the third baseline, out of play. Connor Young continues to battle here in the leadoff position for the Georgetown Eagles. Shake up in the lineup on Saturday against Round Rock. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball, chop foul, or fair, but it'll trickle foul down the first baseline. So another foul ball will all reset. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Connor Young leading it off here in the top of the first for the Georgetown Eagles. Just join us, 320 down the lines, left field, right field, 375, dead straight center field. Here at this beautiful Tiger Field, the 2-2 pitch. Connor Young slaps it foul down the third baseline. Stays alive in the at-bat, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two count here. Connor Young ready, the 2-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 3. And now Connor Young's drawn a full count. Here to lead off the top of the first for Georgetown. The next pitch will be the 10th of the at-bat. So the sophomore catcher, Connor Young. Young back in for the left side. Rummel looks in. From the windup, the payoff pitch. Misses inside, a leadoff walk for Connor Young on the 10th pitch of the at-bat. And with the leadoff man aboard, that'll bring up the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Number 1, Tillman Brown. Tillman Brown will come in to run. For the catcher, Connor Young will lead off first base, being held on by Steele. As Tate Ritchie, the senior right fielder, will step in from the right side. Rummel from the stretch, square to bunt. Bunts it down the first baseline, but it'll trickle foul. 0-1 the count to Tate Ritchie. Shahanowitz charging in at third base on that. Ritchie squares early, 0-1 pitch. Misses for ball 1, 1-1 to count. Ritchie steps in. Batting through 243 on the season. Slaps the 1-1 pitch foul off the netting by the first base dugout. Now a 1 ball, 2 strike count to the senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie. The leadoff walk to Connor Young. Tillman Brown, the courtesy runner down at first base here in the top of the first. Brown leads off. Rummel comes set, the 1-2 pitch. Ritchie fouls it off. 1-2 remains the count. Tate ready to go. Oh, throw over. Nonchalant to first base there by Rummel. Bounces into Still. A reset as Tillman Brown will lead off. Still holds him on. A 1-2 count to Ritchie. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Tyndall on the run will make the catch. Step into foul territory for out number 1. F9 of the book to retire Ritchie. And with 1 out and a runner at first, that'll bring up the third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms. Grooms will step in, batting .383 on the season. The third baseman will bat from the right side. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first base. Leadoff walk to Connor Young. Hayden will step in from the right side. Rummel from the stretch. Throw to first base here. Tillman Brown dives back in safely. On deck, David Flewitt, the senior first baseman for Georgetown. Here in the top of the first. First pitch to Grooms. Down in the turf. Nice block by the catcher Hole. 1-0 the count to Hayden Grooms. Hayden steps back in from the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Looks over to the dugout to get the signs. Coaching down at third base, Coach Chad Payne. Down at first base, David Durrell. Coach Vieira, the head coach, stays in the dugout this year for your Eagles. Rummel comes set, the 1-1 pitch to Grooms. Runner is off. Hole loses grip of the ball. Throws down to first, and Tillman Brown with a stolen base. Into scoring position. Now a called strike on the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strike count now to Hayden Grooms. A 1-2 count, 1 out and a runner at second for Georgetown now. Rummel comes set. A 1-2 pitch, ground ball hit out towards second. Fielded by Perry. He's going to have to flip to Still and does just in time to get Grooms for out number 2. That'll advance Tillman Brown down to third base now. 4-3 on the ground out to retire Grooms for out number 2. And with 2 outs and a runner at third, in steps David Flewitt, the first baseman. Flewitt steps in with a .383 batting average. Senior left-hander, throws left, bats left. Steps in here. First pitch from Rummel. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1 the count. Flewitt back in. Rummel comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Slap foul down the third baseline, out of play. 0-2 the count now. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to David Flewitt. Tillman Brown down at third base. Rummel comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Flewitt hits it out into left field. It's going to be down for an RBI base hit. And David Flewitt stays hot. A 2-out RBI single puts Georgetown on the board here in the first inning. The first hit of the ball game. Tillman Brown cruises in from third base. That'll bring up the center fielder, Cooper Thomas. Cooper, the sophomore, steps in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Cooper throws right, bats right, steps in here with 2 outs. Flewitt leads off, Still holds him on. The first pitch to Thomas, high for ball 1. One to know the count. Cooper Thomas on deck. Braden Rogers the DH. Should Thomas extend the inning? The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1-1 to count to Cooper Thomas. Might watch a bunt here. The third baseman, Johanowitz, on the back of the grass. Nope, up and in for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Oh, 2 ball, 1 strike count to Cooper Thomas here. Flewitt leads off first. 2-1 pitch, breaking pitch high and in for ball 3. 3-1 to count now. 3-1 pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Hull for strike 2. And a full count now to Cooper Thomas. 2 outs and a runner at first. 1 run across here in the top of the inning for Georgetown. The 2-out RBI single by Fluid played at Tillman Brown. Rummel from the first base side of the rubber comes set. Now he'll throw to first base. Fluid dives back in safely. Rummel comes set. The payoff pitch. Up and in. Ball 4. Fluid cruises into second base. The throw down by Hull, but it was a walk. So another 2-out base runner. Runners at first and second on the second walk of the inning issued by Rummel. That one to Cooper Thomas. That brings up the DH, number 14, Braden Rogers. Rogers steps in, batting .292 on the season. And now a quick visit here from Dripping Springs. So a quick visit to the mound. We'll take a timeout. Georgetown baseball continues in just a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Visits over, and in steps Braden Rogers. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runners on first and second. The first pitch outside. Catches the corner for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Rogers. The 0-1 pitch from Rummel. Low and outside for ball 1. 1-1 to count now. Crutchfield on deck for Georgetown, the left fielder. Should Braden Rogers be able to extend the inning? Damage done with 2 outs here in the inning. After the second out, Fluid put a base hit into left field to score Tillman Brown from third base. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch misses low and inside for ball 2. 2-1 to count now to Braden Rogers, the junior DH. Rummel comes set, the 2-1. Called strike 2. 2-2 the count now. The 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3. It's loaded it up now. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. So the runners will be off here on the pitch. Fluid leads off second base. Cooper Thomas off first base. Rummel comes set. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the Eagles are down here in the top of the first, but not before they pick up 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base after half an inning. Georgetown 1. Dripping Springs coming to bat. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. King's Pest Control, proud sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting, the SHN Sports Network, and Georgetown Eagle Baseball, serving Williamson County pest control needs for over 40 years. Family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Give a call, 512-930-PEST. 512-930-7378 or visit them at www.kingspest.com. We go to the bottom of the first. Trey Perry, Jason Steele, Taylor Tracy do up here for the round. I'll get it right. The Dripping Springs Tigers. And that face off against the senior right-hander, Hagen Tate. Hagen Tate. Look for the numbers here for Tate. Starts from the windup, the first pitch. Fly ball down the left field line, curls out of play for a strike. Tate ahead in the at bat. No balls and one strike to Trey Perry, the second baseman. Bats left-handed for the Tigers. Tate's sixth start of the year. He's 2-0. Allowed 11 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned. Walked 10, struck out 32. The 0-1 pitch. Misses a little bit low on the inside part for a ball. 1-1 to count. The 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 2. To Trey Perry, the leadoff man. Defensively, for your Georgetown Eagles. We'll get it right here in a minute. We'll have to make an adjustment. It's Hagen Tate from the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball back out of play. 2-2, now the count. To the leadoff man, Trey Perry. Two balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man for the Tigers. Trey Perry. Tate from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. High and away for ball 3 in the first. At bat for Trey Perry goes full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Similar to the top half of the inning. After Connor Young drew the leadoff walk. The payoff pitch to Perry. Ground ball yanked foul down the first baseline. The count remains full. We'll reset, do it again. For Georgetown. Crutchfield in left, Thomas in center, Ritchie in right. Grooms at third, Kiki at short, Holly at second, Fluid at first. Behind the plate, Connor Young. And on the mound is Hagen Tate. From the first base side of the rubber in the windup, the payoff pitch. In there, called strike 3. Trey Perry down on strikes for out number 1. So the first strikeout for Hagen Tate. And with 1 out, here comes the number 2 hitter, the first baseman, number 28, Jason Steele. He'll bat from the right side for the Tigers. The 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Steele will step in. Tate remains in the windup. The first pitch to Steele. Foul ball back out of play. Down the first baseline, 0-1 to count. The 0-1 pitch. Stays up and away for ball 1. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Fouled off, back to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strike count now to Jason Steele, the first baseman. Taylor Tracy, the center fielder, on deck for the Tigers here in the bottom of the first. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out to second. Luke Holly fields it, sets the feet, throws the first in time. 4-3 on the putout to retire Steele for out number 2. And with 2 down in the inning, that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, center fielder, number 13, Taylor Tracy. Tracy will step in from the right side. From the windup, the first pitch to Tracy. Fly ball into left center field. Cooper Thomas on the run. He'll get back in time, settle under it, make the catch. And the Tigers go in order here in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on after 1 complete. Georgetown 1, Dripping Springs 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment.
Yeah. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking baked Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready, and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking baked Brody.
Come back to Dripping Springs, the Tiger Field. We go to the top of the second. The first inning, Rummel allowed 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 1, walked 2, threw 34 pitches on the inning. As he'll face off now against the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Georgetown lineup. Crutchfield, Kiki, and Holly.
Left fielder number 9, Crutchfield.
Colton Crutchfield will step in for the Eagles to lead things off here. Crutchfield in left field tonight for Georgetown. Tomorrow night, 6:45, come out to Camp Brightside, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Be live with Coach Chad Payne. The first pitch from Rummel to Crutchfield. Foul tip into the glove for strike 1. 0-1 the count. To the senior left fielder, Colton Crutchfield. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, back out of play. 0-2 the count quickly here to Crutch. We lead off this second inning for Georgetown. Jack Kiki on deck. Luke Holly in the hole. From the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Crutch, the swing and the miss. 4 strike 3. Second strikeout for Rummel in the ball game. And with 1 down, that'll bring up the shortstop. This junior, number 7, Jack Kiki.
Shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki.
Kiki will step in from the right side. 1 out, the base is empty. Here in the top of the second, the first pitch to Jack. Squares the bunt. Pulls it back, takes it on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Johanowitz playing deeper at third. The 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike 2. Quickly ahead. 0-2 now. Is Rummel. Rummel ready from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Down low. Scoots away from the catcher hole. Ball 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kiki down on strikes for out number 2. Third strikeout of the ball game for Rummel. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Luke Holly, the second baseman.
Number 6, Luke Holly.
Holly, the senior. Steps in from the right side. 2 outs. Base is empty here in the top of the second. On deck. Should Holly extend the innings? Catcher Connor Young. The first pitch to Holly. Square to bunt. Pulls it back. Inside corner. Called strike 1. I have a feeling that bunt will be thrown out a lot if Johanowitz stays that deep at third. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball sent into right field. Tyndall closes in on it. Settles in under the ball. Makes the catch for out number 3. The Eagles go in order here in the top of the second. After an inning and a half, it's 1-0 Georgetown. Georgetown Eagle baseball continues in a moment. here at Tigerville. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Dripping Springs will bring up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Connor Helms, Tristan Chohanowitz, and Jack Tyndall. The shortstop, number 3, Connor Helms will step in from the right side. Hagen Tate in his first inning of work faced the first 3 batters. Struck out 1 through 12 pitches. First pitch to Helms in there for a called strike 1. 0-1 to count. To the shortstop, Connor Helms. Bats from the right side. Hagen Tate from the windup. The 0-1 pitch fouled off back behind home plate. 0-2 the count now. To the number 4 hitter in the Dripping Springs lineup, Connor Helms. Hagen Tate from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Hagen Tate. 1 out in the inning, brings up the third baseman, Tristan Chohanowitz. Where's number 12 will step in from the right side. Hagen Tate works from the right first base side of the rubber in the windup. First pitch to Chohanowitz in there for a called strike 1. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Just misses for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Chohanowitz step out. Hagen Tate steps off the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Base is empty. The 1-1 pitch. Sails high through the zone. For ball 2. 2-1 the count now. The 2-1 pitch. There it is on the outside corner for a called strike 2. 2-2 now the count. Hagen Tate working quickly here. Ready to go from the windup. The 2-2. Breaking pitch hit into left field. Crutchfield to his right. He'll get there in time to make the catch for out number 2. F7 in the book to retire Chohanowitz. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, he'll bring up the right fielder, number 18, Jack Tyndall. Tyndall will step in from the right side. 2 outs. No runners on base. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Georgetown 1 run in the top of the first, leads it 1-0. There's Tate ready to go. Tyndall in from the right side, the first pitch. Outside corner, just misses for ball 1. Tate ready to go. The 1-0 pitch. Missed low for ball 2. Crazy thing, where you hear Jordan Vieira on the crowd mic. Where'd that miss? It was that same spot Rummel had gotten the strike in the top of the inning. 2-0 pitch, ground ball to first. Flewitt fields it. The 0 pitch to Hagen Tate covering first. And the Tigers go in order here in the bottom of the second. After 2 complete, Georgetown 1-0 over the Dripping Springs Tigers. Back for the third inning in just a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back here at Tiger Field at Dripping Springs, we go to the top of the third. Georgetown will bring up the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Connor Young, Tate Ritchie, and Hayden Grooms. Connor Young led off the ball game at the top of the first. He drew a walk on a 10-pitch at bat. Tillman Brown, the courtesy runner, ended up stealing second base. Moved over to third on the ground up by Grooms, and then was driven in on the RBI single by Fluid to score the only run. Young in, the first pitch from Rummel. Swing and a miss, strike one. Rummel through 2 innings has allowed 1 hit, 1 run. Struck out 3, walked 2, has thrown 43 pitches as he works here in the top of the third. The 0-1 pitch to Young. Breaking pitch misses for ball 1, 1-1 to count. Young, the sophomore catcher, back in for the left side. A 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Ground ball hit out towards third. Chenowitz to his left, builds it. The throw across the diamond. Low and dropped by the first baseman. Still hit his glove and kicked out. That'll be an error on the first baseman. So Connor Young will reach on the air. E3 in the book. And now Tillman Brown will come in to run again. So for the second time through the order. The Eagles repeat themselves. The leadoff man gets aboard in Connor Young. Now Tillman Brown will be held on at first base by Still with no outs. Tate Ritchie steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to right, squares the bunt. Brown off and running. The throw down will be in time to get Tillman Brown as Ritchie unable to lay the bunt down. So Tillman Brown caught stealing. 2-4 on the caught stealing to erase the leadoff runner. And 1 out, the base is empty. Rummel will step off and move back. No balls, 1 strike to count to Tate Ritchie. The 0-1 pitch from Rummel. Breaking pitch misses low for ball 1. 1-1 the count now to the senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie. Flew out to right field in the first inning, 0 for 1 in the game. The 1-1 pitch. That one's high for ball 2. 2-1 the count now. Hayden Grooms, the third baseman on deck for Georgetown here in the top of the third. Rummel from the windup, first base side of the rubber, the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off towards first base dugout. 2-2 now the count to Tate Ritchie. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing, strike 3. Ritchie unable to check the swing. Goes around for a strike 3. And 2 outs in the inning now. 4 strike out of the ball game for Rummel. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, they'll bring up the third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms. Grooms grounded out back in the first, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grooms will step in from the right side. His ground out proven huge for Georgetown. First pitch misses on a breaking pitch. It misses outside. But the ground out to the right side of the infield for the second out of the inning in the first moved Tillman Brown to 90 feet away to third base and was driven in on the hit by Fluid. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 the count now. The 1-1. Breaking pitch misses inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count now. To Hayden Grooms. From the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off, back out of play, and the count runs even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hayden Grooms. Here in the top of the third inning, a 1-0 lead for Georgetown. 1 run in the top of the first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. From the windup, the 2-2. Breaking pitch down to the turf for ball 3. Full count now to Hayden Grooms. The payoff pitch. Hit out towards first and second, between the first and second baseman. Rummel will have to cover the pitch in time as Rummel gets a toe tap on the bag to catch Grooms at first. 4 out, number 3, 4-1 on the put out. And the Eagles go in order thanks to the caught stealing here in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left on base. After 2.5, Georgetown 1, Dripping Springs 0. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. Back here, Tiger Field. We go to the bottom of the third. And Hagen Tate, in his 2 innings of work so far, struck out 2, faced the minimum. Thrown 23 pitches, 12 in the first, 11 in the second, as he'll face off against the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Hurley, Saucy, and Hole. Dom Hurley, the DH, will step in from the right side. Tate from the windup, the first pitch to Hurley. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 to count to the DH, Dom Hurley. The 0-1 pitch from Tate. Break a pitch, outside corner, called strike 2. 0-2 the count. Tate from the first base side of the rubber, ready to go. The 0-2 pitch to Hurley. Can't get him to chase. It's low and outside. Ball 1. 1-2 the count. To the DH, number 16, Dom Hurley for the Tigers here in the bottom of the third. The 1-2 pitch. Outside corner, just missed. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Hurley now. From the windup, the 2-2. Break a pitch, up and in, ball 3, and now a full count. After being ahead in the at bat, no balls and 2 strikes. Hurley's worked a full count here. Lead off the bottom of the third for Dripping Springs. The payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. First base run of the ball game, reaches on a walk. First of the game by Tate. And with Hurley down at first base, that'll bring up the left fielder, number 9, Parker Saucy. Saucy will step in from the right side. The leadoff man aboard down at first base. Hurley leads off first. Fluid will hold him on as Hagen Tate moves to the stretch now. First base side of the rubber as he comes set. Bunt shown, but pulled back and taken low for ball 1. 1-0 the count now. Groom's about 4 steps in on the grounds. So he gets ready to charge in with Saucy squaring to bunt early. Tate comes set on the stretch. Pick off at first base. Hurley tried to take a second jump lead and got picked off by Hagen Tate. So Georgetown responds in kind, erasing the leadoff base runner. 1-3 on the pickoff for out number 1. So a 1-0 count now to Parker Saucy with 1 out. The base is empty. From the windup again, the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 the count now. The 1-1. Outside corner, called strike 2. 1-2 the count now. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball back out of play. Saucy stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll reset, do it again. The 1-2. Breaking pitch misses for ball 2. 2-2 the count now. To the left fielder, Saucy. Gavin Holt, the catcher, on deck. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. The 2-2 pitch. In there, called strike 3. Saucy caught looking. Third strikeout for Hagen Tate. 2 outs in the inning now. The base is empty. And the number 9 hitter, Gavin Holt, the catcher, will step in from the left side. Throws right, bats left. He steps in here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. 1-0, Georgetown leads it. Tate's first pitch to Hole inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Up and away for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Hagen Tate ready to go from the stretch. Or the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Fly ball into left field. Crutchfield moves towards the line, settles under it, makes the catch. And the Tigers go in order for the third inning in a row. F7 to retire Gavin Hull for the Tigers here in the bottom of the third. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on thanks to the pickoff by Hagen Tate. After 3 complete, Georgetown 1, Dripping Springs 0. Eagle Baseball on the SHN Sports Network will continue after this. Back here in Tiger Field, we go to the top of the fourth. Georgetown will bring up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Fluid, Thomas, and Rogers. From the windup, Rummel's first pitch to Fluid. Base hit right up the middle. It'll leak into center field as Terry will flip it. And Fluid has his second hit of the ball game just under the glove of Rummel. And a lead up and aboard for the Eagles here in the top of the fourth.
Now back center fielder, number 24, Cooper Thomas.
Second hit of the ball game for Georgetown. That'll bring up Cooper Thomas. He's 0 for 0 in the ball game. One of the 2 walks issued by Rummel. Throw over to first. Fluid dives back in easily under the tag. In the third inning, Rummel threw 14 pitches, 57 through 3 now as he works here in the fourth. First pitch to Thomas, squares the bunt, takes it, he gets away, and a wild pitch there will allow Fluid to cruise into second base. So now a runner in scoring position with no outs. The first wild pitch of the ball game for Cooper Rummel. 1-0 the count to Cooper Thomas. Fluid now at second base. Rummel from the stretch, still about 10 feet in at first base. Cooper pulls the bat back and takes it on the outside corner for a called strike. It was a ball in the bottom of the third. Strike here in the top of the fourth, where you might hear the chirping out of Coach Vieira. A 1-1 count to Cooper Thomas. Squares the bunt early. Rummel will turn, but no throw to second base. Swing and a miss. Thomas drew the bunt back, took a hack at it. 1-2 the count. One and two the count. Cooper Thomas, no outs, runner at second. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing outside. The catcher lays down the tag. So another strikeout, 5th of the ball game for Rummel. 1 out here in the inning. A nice breaking pitch there. It broke away from Cooper Thomas.
Now batting designated hitter number 14, Braden Rogers.
Braden Rogers steps in now, the DH. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the first in the inning. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at second base. Rummel will look at second. The first pitch to Rogers. Fouled off. Down the first baseline, out of play. 0-1 the count to Braden Rogers. The 0-1 pitch. Rogers popped up down the first baseline. Curls back, out of play. 0-2 the count now to the DH. Crutchfield on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the fourth. Lead off base hit by David Fluid. He's at second base after a wild pitch. The 0-2 pitch stays high through the zone for ball one. 1-0 the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at second base. Turn towards second. Chirping out of the dugout for Georgetown. The 1-2 pitch. Brown in the turf. Rogers swings at it. Hole will have to throw to first. And does in time on the drop third strike for the second out of the inning. 6 strikeouts of the ball game now for Rummel. 2-3 on the putout on that drop third strike. And with 2 outs in the inning, runner at second base. Colton Crutchfield, the left fielder, will step in. Crutchfield steps in for the right side. Rummel comes set in the stretch. Turn towards second, but no throw. Crutchfield over 1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the second. Steps in here. The first pitch from Rummel. Crutchfield fouls it off back to the screen. 0-1 to count. Hole out to visit with his pitcher, Rummel. No balls, 1 strike to Colton Crutchfield. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Leadoff man, Fluid. Led off here in the inning with a base hit right back up the middle. Now at second base after a wild pitch. The Eagles trying to make some more noise here in the top of the fourth after putting up 1 in the top of the first. Rummel comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch. Misses for ball 1. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Crutchfield lays off, takes it on the inside part of the plate on the breaking pitch for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Colton Crutchfield, 2 outs and a runner at second here in the top of the fourth. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Cooper Rummel as he strikes out the side after giving up a leadoff hit to Fluid here in the top of the fourth. No runs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 3.5, Georgetown 1, Dripping Springs 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. go to the bottom of the fourth. The Tigers go back to the top of their lineup for the second time through. It's Trey Perry to lead it off. Jason Still on deck. Taylor Tracy in the hole. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Perry struck out looking to start the ball game at the bottom of the first for the Tigers. The first pitch in this at bat. Line drive into center field, and it'll be the first hit of the ball game. Cooper Thomas over to cut it off. It'll be a leadoff single for Trey Perry on the first pitch he sees. So a leadoff base runner again for the Tigers here in the bottom of the fourth. Did the same in the bottom of the third with a leadoff walk, but early was picked off by Hagen Tate. So in steps Jason Still, the first baseman, grounded out to second base back in the first inning, 0 for 1 in the ball game. He steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Fluid will hold on. Perry at first base. Tate from the stretch now. Looks in and comes set. Still squares the bunt early. Pitch outside, throw down behind Perry. Fluid does a good job of blocking it, keeping it in front of him. The ball to Still, 1-0 the count. One to know the count to Still. Tate comes set. Still squares the bunt. Groom's charging in. Throw over to first base. Perry back under the tag safely. Still squares again. Groom's charging in at third. Throw to first base. Close on the pickoff attempt. There's nice throw there. Slap tag by Fluid. Tate will come set in the stretch. Still squares. The 1-0 pitch. He'll bunt it defensively down the first baseline. It's up and in, but it'll go foul. Even out the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the fourth, Dripping Springs, a leadoff base hit by the leadoff man, Trey Perry, on the first pitch of the inning into center field. Down at first base, Fluid will hold him on there. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Jason Still, the first baseman. Tate from the stretch. Comes set. Throw over to first. No tag applied there. Perry dives back in safely. Through 3 innings. Hagen Tate struck out 3, walked 1, just thrown 38 pitches. Still a late square, the 1-1 pitch. Bunts at it, but he gets away from Connor Young on the breaking ball down at the turf. Gonna say Still pulled the bat back and took it for ball 2. 2-1 the count. So a 2-1 count now. No outs and a runner at first here in the bottom of the fourth. Trey Springs trying to answer Georgetown's run in the top of the first. Still squares. Throw to first. Throw gets away from Fluid, but just about 10 feet away into the coaching box, where head coach Chris Payne does not stand. He stands about 4 feet off the base at first. Tuck it to his runner. Still squares as Tate comes set. Another throw to first. Now the chirping coming out of the third base dugout. Dripping Springs, their first base runner on here in the inning on the leadoff single. The 2-1 pitch, up and high. Throw down again. I'll say Still pulled the bat back again. 3-1 the count. Hagen Tate's got to go after Still here with a 3-1 count. With no outs and a runner at first. Tate comes set. The 3-1 pitch. This is low for ball 4. So much attention paid to Perry and worrying about the bunt. It's a walk. Now runners on first and second with no outs. So Dripping Springs is their first runner into scoring position here in the ball game. On the second walk issued by Hagen Tate. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Taylor Tracy. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to center field back at the first inning. Steps in here with no outs and runners on first and second. Flew it up on the grass at first. Grooms even with the grass. Now backs up even with the bag at third. First pitch to Tracy. Nope, turn towards second. So a lot of attention being paid to Trey Perry at second base. And that has gotten Tate out of any kind of rhythm he was in the first 3 innings. So he is all his attention now at the base runner Perry at second base after his leadoff single. First pitch to Tracy. Misses outside, ball 1. They can take Cruz through the first 3 innings in a rhythm. But now out of that rhythm after the leadoff single with Steele threatening to bunt. So we'll see how Tate responds here. Hagen comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball. It'll grow out of play down the first baseline. 1-1 the count now. To Taylor Tracy with Connor Helms, the shortstop, on deck for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th. Georgetown with a 1-0 lead. Tracy ready from the right side. Tate comes set in the stretch. The 1-1. In there for a called strike 2 on the outside corner on that breaking pitch. 1-2 to count now. The center fielder Taylor Tracy. Tracy takes time. He'll step out and reset. Tracy now back in for the right side. Hagen Tate comes set in the stretch. Look at second. The 1-2 pitch. Slap foul down the first baseline, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Activity down the first base. Bullpen for the Eagles. Andrew Cornell throwing down there with Braden Rogers. Activity down the third base line in the Dripping Springs bullpen. The 1-2 pitch to Tracy. Ground ball out towards second. Holly has it. His only play is going to be flipped to first. So both runners move up. We're now 1 out in the inning. 4-3 on the put out of Taylor Tracy, but that'll move up Perry to third base. Jason Steele to second with 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Connor Helms, the shortstop. He struck out swinging in the second inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Now, Helms steps in from the right side. Tate from the stretch. The first pitch. Misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Connor Helms with Tristan Chahanowitz on deck for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th. 1 out, runners on second and third. A leadoff walk, then a leadoff base hit, then a walk. Then the ground up by Tracy to move him up to second and third. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a beautiful breaking pitch. 1-1 the count to Connor Helms. Tate a long look in, gets the sign and comes set. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, another breaking pitch and a good one from Hagen Tate. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count now to Connor Helms. The Eagles would love an out here without getting a run across to even it up. Trey Perry leads off third. Jason still off second. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. As Connor Helms steps back in from the right side. One ball, 2 strikes to count as Hagen Tate comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Helms lays off and takes it high for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Helms ready to go. Hagen Tate comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch into center field. Cooper Thomas on his horse. He'll get back and make the catch. Perry will easily score from third. Jason Steele will tag up and move up to third base from second base. So a sac fly there from Connor Helms ties the ball game at 1 apiece. Here in the bottom of the fourth. F8 in the book on the sac fly for Helms. Now Georgetown will want to get out of this with only 1 run given up. As in steps Tristan Chahanowitz, the third baseman. He's hoped for 1 of the ball game. Flew out to left field back in the second inning. And here comes a visit from the pitching coach, Chad Payne of Georgetown. We'll take it with him. Georgetown Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Mound visit's over and back to action as Chahanowitz steps in. 2 outs and a runner at third. Hagen Tate from the stretch, the first pitch. Down on the turf for ball 1. 1-0 the count. A check down to first base umpire. Did not go. 1-0 count to Chahanowitz now. 1 run across in the inning for the Tigers. A runner at third base now with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. Low for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Tate comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. 2-1 the count now. Errant baseball onto the field. Time call. So we'll reset. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 run across for the Tigers. 1-1 score. Jason Steele, the runner at third base. Chahanowitz back in. The 2-1 pitch from Hagen Tate. Breaking pitch inside corner. Called strike 2. So a 2-2 count now to the third baseman, Tristan Chahanowitz. Jack Tyndall on deck. Should Tristan be able to extend the inning here for the Tigers? Hagen Tate gets a sign from Connor Young. Comes set. The 2-2. Ground ball hit out in between third and short into left field. An RBI base hit. So another time here in the season for Georgetown where the walk kills you. You now have a 2-1 deficit. So you wonder, that's the kind of things you look at this season, how things tend to trend for Georgetown. You get a base runner on, and so much attention gets Hagen Tate out of a rhythm. And now that walk comes in on the base hit by Chahanowitz. And Dripping Springs takes the lead for the first time of the ball game, an RBI single with 2 outs. And in steps Jack Tyndall, who's 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch swinging, fouls it off back to the screen. 0-1. Johnowitz leads off first. Fluid holds him on there. Tate still in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch to Tyndall. Ground ball hit out to second base. Holly to his left, fields it, throws across his body in time. And the bottom of the fourth comes to an end on the 4-3 putout of Jack Tyndall. But not before the Dripping Springs Tigers pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete, Dripping Springs 2, Georgetown 1. Eagle Baseball will continue in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Go to the top of the fifth. The Dripping Springs Tigers go to the bullpen, and they'll bring in number 24, Nixon Badia, the junior left-hander. He'll come in relief of Cooper Rummel. Here in the top of the fifth inning, Rummel in 4 innings threw 70 pitches, allowed 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 7, walked 2, and threw 1 wild pitch. Now the lefty will work out of the stretch from the third base side of the rubber. First pitch to Jack Kiki. Misses for ball 1. The 8-9-1 hitters due up for Georgetown. Here in the top of the fifth, Kiki, Holly, and Young. Kiki steps in 0 for 1 in the ball game. The first pitch, or the 1-0 pitch, grounded like a bunt down the third baseline. Kiki will beat it out for an infield base hit. So the leadoff man aboard for the Eagles again for the 3rd inning in a row. 3rd hit of the night, first allowed by Badia. And with Kiki down to first base, Luke Holly will step in. Luke 0 for 1 of the ball game. Sent a shot down the right field line. It was hauled in by Jack Tyndall. Back in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 in the night. The first pitch to Holly. Squares the bunt. High off the glove of the catcher Hole. Back to the net. Kiki will advance on that wild pitch. 2nd wild pitch of the ball game. First 4 for Badia. And now the Eagles have a runner in scoring position with no outs. 1-0 the count to Luke Holly. Johanowitz, even with the bag at third, still 10 feet in at first base. Holly from the right side. Squares the bunt, but bunts it foul, back out of play. 1-1 the count now to Luke Holly. Still charging from first. With Perry, second baseman, covering at first base. So we expect if Holly's going to bunt, he's going to try to put it down the third baseline and make the pitcher Badia cover and make a throw. 1-1 to count to Holly, the 1-1 pitch. Badia turns towards second, but no throw. So we reset. Kiki off second. Beat out an infield, bunt, chop, swing, single. 1-1 pitch, bunted down the third baseline. A beauty by Luke Holly. Badia, and it's going to be misplayed. Couldn't make the decision, and Luke Holly would have beaten it out anyway. I would assume they're going to give it a base hit, and it is. Luke Holly, another bunt single. 4th hit of the night. And now runners on the corners. Kiki moves up to third. Holly down to first, and in steps Connor Young. Connor 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked in the first, reached on an error in the third. Steps in here with no outs. And runners on first and third. Catcher Hole will step out. Give the signals to the infield. So the catcher, Connor Young, steps in from the left side. No outs and runners on first and third. Holly leads off first, held on by Still. Kiki off third. Connor Young squares the bunt. Pitch on the outside corner, a called a ball. Holly was still second base. The throw cut off by the second baseman, Perry. And now with a 1-0 count to Connor Young and no outs. Runners at second and third for Georgetown. Here in the top of the fifth inning. Young back in. 1 ball, no strikes. Still 3-4 steps in at first base. Padilla comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Young hits it. Line drive to Perry right at him. And they're going to double up Luke Holly at second base. On the line drive to Perry at second. He throws to the shortstop, Helms, to double off Luke Holly. So the Eagles go from no outs and runners on second and third to 2 outs and a runner at third base. So L4 to retire Connor Young for out number 1. And then 4-6 to double up Holly at second base. For out number 2, that'll bring up Tate Ritchie with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Georgetown was in great shape there to try to tie this up or take the lead. Now have to battle to get a run across. First pitch to Ritchie, fouled off to the screen. 0-1 the count. Padilla comes set, the 0-1 pitch. Misses low for ball 1, 1-1 the count. Tate Ritchie 0 for 2 in the ball game. A fly out in the first, struck out in the third. With Grooms on deck for Georgetown. Should Tate be able to extend the inning? Ritchie ready, the 1-1 pitch. Down low, ball 2, 2-1 to count now. Padilla set, the 2-1 pitch to Tate Ritchie. Fouled off back to the screen. It's the burst of pollen off the net. Explodes into the air. So a 2-2 count now to Tate Ritchie with 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Runner at third. The 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Fielded by Padilla. He'll flip to first in time. And the Georgetown Eagles with an opportunity there in the top of the fifth. Have it taken away after a line drive double play and a ground out to end it. 1-3 on the put out for Ritchie and the Eagles here in the top of the fifth. No runs on 2 hits. No errors and 1 runner left on base after 4.5. 2-1, Georgetown trails it to Dripping Springs here at Tiger Field. Stay with us. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. We go to the bottom of the fifth. The Eagles send Hagen Tate back to the mound. He'll face off against the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Hurley, Saucy, and Hull. First pitch to Saucy. Break a pitch up and in for ball one. Saucy 0 for 0 in the ball game. Walked back in the third inning to lead off the inning. It was picked off by Hagen Tate. The 1-0 pitch. Up high and inside, ball two. Two 2-0 the count to Dom Hurley, the DH. From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. On the outside corner for called strike one. 2-1 the count now. Hurley, the DH, back in from the right side. Tate from the windup, the 2-1. Break a pitch in there for called strike two. Beautiful pitch there by Hagen Tate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count now to the DH Hurley. With Parker Saucy on deck. Gavin Holt, the catcher, in the hole. The 2-2. Misses outside, ball 3. Count runs full here to the DH, Dom Hurley. The payoff pitch to Hurley. Up and in, ball 4. So Tate loses him for the 3rd walk of the ball game. That'll bring up Parker Saucy. No outs and a runner at first with a leadoff walk. Saucy steps in. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Struck out looking in the 3rd. Steps in here from the right side. Saucy squares the bunt. First pitch from Tate. Bunted right out in front of the mound. Hayden Grooms is there. He'll throw to first in time. So the sac bunt laid down. The Eagles get the out there. Runner advances to second base on that sac bunt. 5-3 on the putout. With 1 out and a runner at second, brings up the number 9 hitter, Gavin Holt, the catcher. 0 for 1 of the ball games. He flew out to Crutchfield in left field, back of the 3rd. Steps in here with a runner at second base. The bottom of the 5th. Through 4, Tate is allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Struck out 3, walked 2. Through 61 pitches as he works here in the bottom of the 5th. Turn, the throw to second base. Hurley under the tag safely. Tate from the stretch. A long look in. Tate will come set in the stretch. Look back at second, the first pitch. Low and inside. 1-0 the count to Holt. Now a quick visit from the catcher, Connor Young, out to his pitcher, Hagen Tate. A 1-0 count to Gavin Holt, the catcher for the Tigers. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Through 4 innings, Georgetown 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. The Tigers 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error. Georgetown scored in the top of the 1st. Georgetown scored in the top of the 1st. Dripping Springs put up 2 in the bottom of the 4th. And making noise here in the bottom of the 5th. After getting out of trouble in the top of the 5th. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. 1-1 to count to the catcher, Gavin Holt. Top of the lineup. On deck, and Trey Perry, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Tate gets a sign from Connor Young, comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. Holt went after it. Now a 1 ball, 2 strike count. With 1 out, a runner at second base. Take comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, foul back behind home plate. Catcher hole stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Bullpen has gone silent for Georgetown. More activity down the third base line in the Dripping Springs bullpen. Tate comes set in the stretch. Throw toward second. Off the glove of Kiki, who's breaking back away from the bag. That squirts over towards Holly at second base. Hurley unable to advance. So we'll reset with a 1-2 count here. Hole back in from the left side. Hagen Tate comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Inside for ball 2. Some innings it's a strike, some innings it's a ball. Consistent thing about it is that it's inconsistent tonight there on that inside corner. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Tate comes set. The 2-2. Breaking pitch. Just misses up high for ball 3. So every time now since Hagen Tate, once he goes to the stretch and attention is given towards the base runner, the rhythm slows down. The pace slows down. And Tate now falls behind in the at-bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the catcher, Gavin Cole. And look at second. The payout pitch. Ground ball towards first base. Flewitt will field it, step on first base, 3 unassisted. And with 2 outs, Hurley moves up to third base. And that'll bring up the top of the lineup, and Trey Perry is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Perry struck out looking in the first, singled and scored a run in the 4th. And here comes head coach Jordan Vieira. So you got to expect a Georgetown Eagle call to the bullpen. We'll take the timeout with him. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports. The call to the bullpen brings in number 13, the junior left-hander for the Georgetown Eagles, Andrew Cordell. Face off against Trey Perry, the leadoff batter. A second baseman for the Tigers. First pitch, swinging. Fly ball to right field. Long run for Tate Ritchie. He's on his horse, and he'll get to it to make the catch to get the Eagles out of danger here in the bottom of the fifth. A long run and a catch, F9 of the book. One pitch and an out in relief for Cornell. And at the end of 5, Georgetown trails 2-1 to Dripping Springs. No runs on no hits, no errors, and one runner left on base for the Tigers. We come back. We go to the top of the 6th. Eagle baseball continues in a moment.
Royalty, put blame on me. Hate my trends. Word up OG. Watch how you talking your tone. What I be on? You cannot make me a clone. You already know T versus T. Tagging the limits won't fit the criteria. Here in stereo, saying American. Hang around you and your crew's embarrassing. Take that sneak post down, flexing on me is hilarious. Don't take it from me, I put it in work. Listen to see where I've been. I am the foretelling by the masses. Read by the skull on my saber and pen. Put down the mic and he calling me in. Can I receive? Ain't do it for them. You living and breathing within.
Back here at Tiger Field, we go to the top of the 6th inning. New pitcher on for the Dripping Springs Tigers. To the mound goes number 25, the senior right-hander, Blake Cox. Cox will come on to pitch here in the top of the 6th. Nixon Badia came on for 1 inning of relief, gave up 2 hits, 1 wild pitch, threw 12 pitches. But got out of trouble with a line drive. No outs, runners on second and third. And a line drive to second base and double up the runner at second. And then a ground ball to get out of the inning. Kept the Tigers on top, and now Blake Cox on to face off against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Grooms, Fluid, and Thomas here in the top of the 6th for Georgetown. First pitch to Grooms is up and in for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Hayden Grooms, who's 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Grounded out to second base both times. Cox works from the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. Up and away for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Hayden Grooms. Fluid on deck. Cooper Thomas in the hole for the Eagles here in the top of the 6th inning, trailing by 1. Blake comes set, the 2-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. 2-1 the count now to Hayden Grooms, the senior third baseman for Georgetown. Blake Cox on a relief, the senior right-hander. Works to the first base side of the rubber in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. High fly ball, right field. Tyndall almost lost it, but got it back, make the catch. For out number 1, F9 of the book to retire Grooms. With 1 out in the inning, in steps the first baseman, number 12, David Fluid. Fluid 2 for 2 in the ballgame. An RBI single in the first, was left stranded. Then a single to lead off the top of the 4th and left stranded at second base. Steps in, 2 for 2 in the ballgame with the bases empty and 1 out here in the top of the 6th. First pitch from Blake Cox. Swing and a miss. 0-1 to count. Senior first baseman, David Fluid. The 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball. Calls it a strike. So 0-2 the count now. The 0-2 pitch to Fluid. Up high for ball one. 1-2 the count. Fluid steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strike to count. 1 out, no runners on. Here in the top of the 6th. Blake comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Low and outside for ball 2, and the count evens up. 2-2 here to David Fluid. Cooper Thomas on deck for Georgetown. The 2-2 pitch. Fluid throws the bat at it into shallow center field. Tracy tries to make the sliding catch, but the ball squirts out of his glove. They're going to give a hit to Fluid on that one. That was a generous home scoring there. A good effort there by Tracy, but the ball squirts out. And a 1 out base runner for Georgetown will be the 3rd hit of the night. Given to Fluid. And Cooper Thomas will step in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. We'll go to the Georgetown game changer. See how that was scored by Georgetown. Throw over to first. Fluid dives back in safely. I believe that one was recorded as an error. Swing and a miss. The first pitch to Cooper Thomas. 0-1 the count. So the press box for Dripping Springs puts it as a base hit. Throw over to first base. Fluid under the tag from Steele. Fluid reaches base with 1 out. The 0-1 pitch to Cooper Thomas. Squares the bunt, takes it back. Pulls it back and takes it low for ball 1. 1-1 the count now. 1 out here at the top of the 6th. Georgetown trails 2-1. Another throw to first. Fluid under the tag safely. Center fielder Cooper Thomas steps back in. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Another throw to first base. Cox comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Cooper Thomas gives it a ride to left center field. Tracy on the run. Is he going to get to it? Can't get to it. It's down. Fluid around second base. He's headed to third. Fluid's going to be waved home. It's going to tie this one up as Cooper Thomas has an RBI double. And now a meeting amongst the umpires in the field. Coach Vieira out of the dugout. But a beautiful shot there by Cooper Thomas to left center field. Tracy on his horse couldn't get to it. And that scored Fluid from first base to tie it up at 2 apiece here in the top of the 6th. But a discussion amongst the 3-man umpire crew. They're going to throw Cooper Thomas out of the game. They called him out and then threw him out of the ball game. Coach Vieira may be next at this kind of call. That is unbelievable. Jason Steele was standing on first base. They're trying to say Vieira's argument is that he was standing on the bag. The runner has the right to get through the bag. They're saying he threw some kind of shot at Jason Steele. So Cooper Thomas was called out and then thrown out of the ball game. Coach Vieira is livid. Coach Vieira riled up. Coach Vieira is fired up. It's 2-2. The run counts. But the sign given by the first base side umpire was that Cooper Thomas was ruled out for the interference at first base somehow for throwing a shot at Steele and then thrown out of the ball game. So we'll see how this one pans out. Coach Vieira is still on the field, irate. And he has a valid argument. Steele standing on first base is illegal in and of itself, blocking the path for the base runner on a base hit. What a unbelievable situation here at Dripping Springs. Quick timeout. We'll be back with Eagle Baseball. Two-two ball game here at Dripping Springs. Cooper Thomas has been thrown out. He is out at rounding base. Say threw a shot at Jason Steele. Arguably, you could throw them both in the sense of an interference and put a runner at second base and throw Cooper Thomas out of the game. No matter way it ends, it's a 2-2 ball game. So we'll see what happens here. There'll have to be a substitution for Georgetown as the center fielder Cooper Thomas has been ejected. So rule him out. He still has the RBI that scores Fluid from first base to tie the ball game. But it is still going on here in the field. Coach Vieira is on fire. And so could have been a double. You could go with the shot on Cooper if that's what happened. Right, wrong, indifferent. If he threw the elbows in, ran into the first baseman, you call him out or throw him out, but then you call the interference on the fielder who had no right to be in the base path at the time of the base hit when he's running the bases. And so it's an interesting call. There's still a huddle there in the field now with a 3-umpire crew, but unbelievable. And the discussion now, Blake Cox having to do some more warming up as he had just come into the ball game. So Coach Vieira getting an opportunity here to talk to the home plate umpire. So we'll see what happens. Right now as it stands, you have 2 outs, and you have the bases empty. You have 2 runs across for Georgetown as Fluid scored on the base hit. A 6th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. I think Coach Vieira's whole argument was the fact that the first baseman was standing at the bag, over the bag.
He deserves it.
So back here live, Tiger Field. Not sure we've got it all explained out, but David Flewitt's on first base. Cooper Thomas hits a shot to left center field. It is down for a base hit. Flewitt comes around to score. The throw to the plate not in time. Cooper Thomas is ruled out on a shot given towards the first baseman, Jackson Still, and ejected from the ball game. But then they take Flewitt and the run off the board and put David Flewitt back to third base. So now 2 outs and a runner at third, 2-1 your score. And in steps Braden Rogers. First pitch misses for a ball. So Flewitt does not score. Cooper Thomas gets the base hit, but no RBI. Flewitt at third. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike, 1-1 to Braden Rogers. So a 1-1 count now with 2 outs and a runner at third base. The run does not count. They've taken it off the board. So a 2-1 score. The 1-1 pitch to Rogers. Misses outside for ball 2, 2-1 to count. Blake Cox on relief here in the 6th. Comes set in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch to Braden Rogers. Swing. Ball hit into left center field. This one going to hang up. And the catch made by the left fielder, Salsi, for out number 3. So F7 in the book to retire the Eagles here in the top of the 6th. No runs on 2 hits. No errors and no 1 runner left on base after 5.5. Dripping Springs 2, Georgetown 1. Eagle baseball continues in a moment.
Yeah. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking baked Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking baked Brody. Independent on my own, on my stand. Taking handles, not for me, I like the back of my demands. Bet against me, I'ma need that money coming in advance. I play with God's hand, you ain't never stood a chance. Take over your playlist, I'm that dude, set the mood. No, I've always...
We go to the bottom of the 6th. Dripping Springs will bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Steele, Tracy, and Helms against Andrew Cornell on for his second inning of work. Came in with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Works here against Jason Steele, who's 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Defensively for Georgetown, Luke Holly moves out to center field, and Jalem Hunter comes in at second base. Cooper Thomas was ejected in the top of the 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch to Steele. High fly ball to left field. Crutchfield will make the catch. For out number 1, F7 in the book to retire Steele. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the center fielder, Taylor Tracy, who's 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Flew out to center field in the 1st, grounded out to 2nd in the 4th inning. Steps in here with nobody on base. In the bottom of the 6th, leading 2-1. Cornell came on with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, or bottom of the 6th, through a 1 pitch. And got Trey Perry to fly out to right field to end the inning. Tracy in for the right side. The first pitch from the lefty, Cornell. Misses up and away for ball 1. Tracy back in from the right side. Cornell from the third base side of the rubber in the windup. The 1-0 pitch. Misses low and outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. On deck, the shortstop, Connor Helms for the Tigers. From the windup, the 2-0 pitch to Tracy. Misses on the low and outside for 3-0 now. 1 out here in the top or bottom of the 6th inning. Dripping Springs leads by 1. A 3-0 pitch from Cornell. Outside corner called strike 1. 3-1 to count. Dripping Springs will play on Thursday against McCallum. Georgetown will be back home on Thursday to take on Cedar Ridge. Then Saturday on the road at Lake Travis. The 3-1 pitch. Out towards short, in through to left center field. Crutchfield will cut it off and get it in. And it's a 1-out single for Taylor Tracy. His first hit of the ball game, 3rd hit of the game for the Dripping Springs Tigers. And a 1-out base runner will bring up Connor Helms, the shortstop. 0 for 1 of the ball game, struck out in the 2nd. A sac fly back in the 4th inning. That scored the first run of the game for Dripping Springs. And here comes Coach Fierro. It'll be a Georgetown Eagle call to the bullpen. Quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Georgetown will bring in Hayden Grooms, the right-hander. Off third base, Braden Curtin comes in defensively at third base. A 1-out and a runner at first base. In steps Connor Helms, the shortstop, first pitch. Takes it for a called strike. Connor Helms 0 for 1 of the ball game, struck out in the 2nd. Sac fly back in the 4th, scored the first run of the game for the Tigers. Tracy down at first base with a 1-out single, held on by Fluid. Grooms works from the stretch, the first base side of the rubber. Throw to first base. Tracy dives back in under the tag safely. Grooms comes set. Throw to first. Tracy almost got picked off there Almost caught him leaning. Tracy's not short in stature. He's probably 6'1", 6'2". Dives back in quickly under the tag. 0-1 to count, 1 out. Runner at first here at the bottom of the 6th, 2-1. Dripping Springs leads it. Another throw to first. Tracy dives back in safely. On deck, Tristan Chahanowitz, the third baseman. He's 1 for 2 as well in the ball game. Helms in from the right side. Grooms a long look in. Comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Not going to get any call out of the first base umpire. 1-1 to count. You can check him all you want. We will not get another call out of that umpire after the last inning. 1-1 to count to Connor Helms. 1 out, runner at first. Hayden Grooms, the third pitcher for Georgetown, now in. Comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch, break a pitch high through the zone. 2-1 to count. Cornell, 2/3 of an inning. Can't close the book yet. He's responsible for the runner at first base in Tracy. 2-1. Throw over to first. No tag applied as Tracy dives back in safely. Grooms comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking pitch. Swing and a miss by Helms. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first base here in the bottom of the 6th. Grooms gets the sign and comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Tracy off and running. The pitch down in the turf. Connor Young will keep it blocked. Tracy will steal second base without a throw there. So now a full count to Connor Helms with 1 out and a runner in scoring position at second base.
Use the whole field. Come on.
The payoff pitch. Breaking pitch just misses for ball 4. Now runners on first and second after the walk issued to Connor Helms. And that'll bring up Tristan Chahanowitz. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to left field in the second. An RBI single in the 4th. One out. Runners on first and second. Chahanowitz steps in from the right side. Grooms still in the stretch.
What's in behind you?
The first pitch to Chahanowitz on the low part of the zone for called strike 1. 0-1 to count. On deck moves Jack Tyndall, the right fielder. Tracy off second base. Connor Helms off first. The 0-1 pitch. Same location, now a ball. 1-1 to count. To Tristan Chahanowitz. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, 2-1. Georgetown trails the Tigers. Dripping Springs threatening again here in the bottom of the 6th. The runners on first and second and 1 out. Chahanowitz back in. Grooms comes set. Throw to first base. Got him. A great play there as Fluid came in behind Helms. So the second out of the inning, another pickoff. 3-1 on the pick, or 1-3 on the pickoff of Helms. And now 2 outs in the inning and a runner on second. 1-1 count here to Tristan Chahanowitz. who had a 2-out RBI single back in the 4th inning. Steps back in. Grooms comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, pop back out of play. And now a 1-ball, 2-strike count to the third baseman. Grooms comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. We'll do it again. Reset it. Tracy off second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-ball, 2-strike counts to Johanowitz, the third baseman. Grooms a long look in. It's the sign, it comes set. The 1-2. This is just outside for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Now a 2-ball, 2-strike count. 2 outs. Runner at second. Grooms comes set. Takes a look at second base. The 2-2. Pop fly right side will curl back out of play. And we'll all reset and do it again with the 2-ball, 2-strike count to Tristan Johanowitz. For Dripping Springs here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1. Dripping Springs leads it. 1 run in the first for Georgetown. 2 in the 4th for Dripping Springs. And a crazy play in the top of the 6th that took a run off the board for Georgetown. As we work here at the bottom of the 6th. Grooms comes set. The 2-2 pitch to Johanowitz. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Georgetown gets out of trouble here in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. Georgetown chasing 1 to stay alive. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. We come back here to Tiger Field. We go to the top of the 7th inning. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Crutchfield, Kiki, and Holly do it for Georgetown. They trail by 1, down to their final 3 outs. Cox on for his 2nd inning of work. The first pitch to Crutchfield on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Crutchfield 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. As he leads off things here in the top of the 7th for Georgetown. Need 1 run to keep the game alive. Cox comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. 0-2 the count. No balls, 2 strikes to Crutchfield. No outs here in the top of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. This is for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Crutchfield back in from the right side. Cox comes set, the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, hit back out there short, off the side of the mound, fielded by the shortstop. The throw across the diamond, in time. Barely gets Crutchfield at first base, 6-3. That was Steele at shortstop. So defensively, Helms came out. Steele went to shortstop. Threw the rocket across the diamond to get Crutchfield, 6-3 on the putout. And with 1 out, the base is empty. In steps Jack Kiki. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the 2nd, singled. Left stranded at 3rd base in the 5th. First pitch, base hit into left center field for Jack Kiki. His 2nd hit of the night. He'll round first and hold up there. So a 1 out base runner for Georgetown here at the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Luke Holly. 3rd hit given up by Blake Cox. Luke Holly steps in, 1 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to right in the 2nd. And a bunt single in the 5th. Stole 2nd base, but then was doubled off on the line drive by Connor Young. Steps in here with 1 out, a runner at first. First pitch to Luke Holly from Cox. Kiki off and running. The throw down, not in time. Kiki still 2nd base. So a ball for Holly at the plate, 1-0 the count. And a stolen base by Jack Kiki has the tying run in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. So defensively, Helms came out. Steele went over to shortstop for the Tigers. And then Hans came in at first base for Dripping Springs. Short visit here from the catcher, Gavin Hull, with his pitcher, Blake Cox. Came on in the top of the 6th. Works here in the top of the 7th. In the 6th inning, gave up 2 hits. Through 16 pitches. Kiki at 2nd base with 1 out. A 1-0 count to Luke Holly. Cox comes set. Now Holly will take time out. As Cox continued looking back at Kiki at 2nd base. Kiki represents the tying run here for Georgetown at the top of the 7th. Trailing 2-1. 1-0 pitch, therefore called strike 1. 1-1 to count. One ball, 1 strike to Luke Holly. 1 out, and a runner at 2nd. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That one, Cox reared back, went mano-a-mano, gets the strike. A swinging miss by Holly. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter, Luke Holly. 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th, runner on 2nd base. Connor Young on deck, the leadoff batter for the Eagles. Now Luke will take time out again as Cox paid a lot of attention to the base runner. Kind of that system getting out of the rrhythm that Hagen Tate experienced earlier with that base runner. as that one is a big one for Georgetown as it represents the tying run. Second baseman Perry back and forth. The 1-2 pitch. Holly chases it down on the turf for strike 3. So 2 outs in the inning. First strikeout recorded by Cox, and the Eagles down to their final out here with Connor Young up.
Now batting catcher number 23.
2 outs and a runner at second. Tying run at second base, and Jack Kiki. Connor Young steps in. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Walked back in the first, reached on an error in the third, lined out to second base in the fifth inning. And now a visit from the Dripping Springs dugout. We'll take a quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Connor Young will step in here with 2 outs. Tying run at second base for Georgetown here in the top of the 7th. The lefty steps in. Cox on the mound, the righty. Comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Young. Outside for ball 1. Sid Young extend the inning. Tate Ritchie waits on deck for Georgetown. Cox from the first base side of the rubber. Gets the sign and comes set in the stretch. Stares at second base. Another time called at the plate. Connor Young step out, reset. Cox comes set, snares at second base still. The 1-0 pitch. Young slashes it foul down the third baseline, out of play. 1-1 to count now. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 7th, Georgetown has the tying run. Scoring position at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Young slaps it foul back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now. So the Georgetown catcher, Connor Young. Young back in. Cox comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 1-2 pitch. Connor Young sends it into right center field. On the run. Can't get to it. It's down. That'll score the tying run. Connor Young will cruise into second base with an RBI double that ties it up here in the top of the 7th. So Connor Young now in scoring position. It drives in Jack Kiki from second base. 2-2 your score. 4th hit allowed by Cox. And here comes Tillman Brown to run. For the catcher, Connor Young with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Tate Ritchie steps in. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. First pitch to Tate. Takes it for a called strike on the off-speed pitch. 0-1 to count. On deck, Hayden Grooms. For the Eagles, should Ritchie be able to extend this top of the 7th. Georgetown's put up 1 to tie it 2-2 here in the top of the 7th. Blake Cox works in relief for the Tigers. A look at second. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. Back to the screen. 0-2 the count. Tate Ritchie fouled it off. It looks like it went off the hand of the catcher, Cole. Hopefully he's all right. Umpire walked the ball out and let the catcher. Fouled off of his throwing hand. Gavin Cole. Hole back behind the plate. Shaking it off. Gets ready. No balls, 2 strikes to Tate Ritchie. No way that doesn't hurt. So the big catcher gets back behind the plate, ready to go. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. And Tate keeps it alive. Hits it into the pollen-infested net. We'll reset. No balls, 2 strikes.
Good hug, good spot. Help him out right here. Let's go. Be smart.
The righty comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Down and away in the turf. Good block there by Hole. Tillman Brown unable to advance to third. 1-2 the count to Tate Ritchie. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 1 run across. Big 1-out single by Jack Kiki. He stole second base and then driven in on the 2-out RBI double by Connor Young to tie it up here in the top of the 7th. 1-2 count to Ritchie. Cox comes set. Looks back at second base. The 1-2 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3. And it's back to the strike zone. That one goes for a called strike 3. And at the end of 6.5, it's tied up 2-2. Dripping Springs comes up with a chance to walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th. Come back soon. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here, we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Tigers will bring up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Tyndall, Hurley, and Saucy. Tyndall will step in, 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch. Inside corner, called strike 1. Tyndall, the right fielder. Rounded out in the 2nd inning and in the 4th. 0 for 2 in the ball game as he leads off things here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Dom Hurley, the DH on deck. Parker Southsea, the left fielder, in the hole for the Tigers. here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 ball game. The 1-1 pitch misses low and outside. 2-1 to count. To the right fielder, Jack Tyndall. From the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a big breaker. Tyndall down to a knee. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Hayden Grooms on in relief. Came on with 1 out. In the bottom of the 6th. Works here in the bottom of the 7th. The 2-2 pitch. Up high and in for ball 3 and a full count now to leadoff man Jack Tyndall. The payoff pitch. Breaking pitch hit into left center field. Crutchfield to his left. He'll get there in time to make the catch for out number 1. F7 in the book to retire Tyndall. And that'll bring up the DH, number 16, Dom Hurley. Hurley 0 for 0 in the ball game. He's walked in both plate appearances tonight. Walked in the 3rd, was picked off first base. Walked and left stranded at 3rd base in the 5th inning. As he steps in here with 1 out, the base is empty in the bottom of the 7th. Pinch hitter in the on-deck circle for Georgetown, or for Dripping Springs. Number 7, Cade Sanders, has stepped out into the on-deck circle. The pinch hit in the number 8 slot for the Tigers. Grooms from the windup, first base side of the rubber, the first pitch to Hurley. Break a pitch high through the zone for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, low and away for ball 2. 2-0 the count now. To the DH, Dom Hurley. Hurley back in from the right side. Grooms from the windup, the 2-0. Pop fly back out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike to count now. To the DH, Hurley. Here in the bottom of the 7th, 2-2 score. The 2-1 pitch. Misses low for ball 3, and now a hitter's count for Dom Hurley, the DH, in the number 7 slot for the Tigers. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Base is empty here in the bottom of the 7th. Grooms from the windup, the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off, back to the screen, full count. That one pretty much hit right by the microphone. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Grooms from the windup, the payoff pitch. Line drive, shallow center field. Holly on the run, can't get to it. It's going to drop. Or a 1-out single on the Texas leaguer by Dom Hurley. His first hit of the night and a 1-out base runner. And here comes a pinch runner for the Tigers. It'll be number 8, Nick Tyndall.
Number 8, Nick Tyndall.
He'll come in a pinch run for Dom Hurley, the DH. In steps the pinch hitter, number 7, Cade Sanders. The sophomore left-handed hitter steps in. Listed by Coach Chris Payne as a outfielder / pitcher. The sophomore steps in for the left side with 1 out and a runner at first. Grooms to the stretch. The first pitch, runner is off. The throw down from Connor Young in time. Tag slap by Kiki. And what a throw by your sophomore catcher. He's done it all here in the 7th. A 2-out RBI double to tie it up, and then picks off the base runner, trying to steal second. 2-6 on the caught stealing for out number 2. A 1-ball, no strike count to Sanders, the pinch hitter. Grooms back to the windup with no runners on with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. This is low and inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Looked like strike 3 that ended the top of the 7th. 2-0 the count now to Sanders. 2-0 pitch. Pop fly left side. Plenty of room. Into foul territory goes Kiki, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. Extra baseball around the corner as we go to the top of the 8th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 7 complete, 2-2 your score. Dripping Springs, Georgetown, new battle. We go to the 8th when we come back live here on the SHN Sports Network. Stay with us. Here at Tiger Field, Georgetown baseball is brought to you by King's Pest Control. Serving Williamson County pest control needs for over 40 years. Family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Call them 512-930-PEST. 512-930-7378. Or visit them, kingspest.com on the internet. Proud sponsors of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball. And we go to a bonus baseball free of charge. Just like the rest of it. It's all free here on the SHN Sports Network. We go to the top of the 8th. Georgetown will bring up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Grooms, Fluid, and Thomas to face off against Blake Cox on for his 3rd inning of work here for the Tigers. Through 2 innings. Cox has given up 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 1. Thrown 39 pitches in 2 innings. 34 pitches in 2 innings, pardon me. First pitch to Grooms. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Grooms 0 for 3 in the ball game. Grounded out in the first, grounded out in the third, flew out to right in the 6th inning. The 0-1 pitch to Hayden. Fouled off, back out of play down the first baseline. 0-2 the count now to Hayden Grooms. Fluid on deck for the Eagles. Cooper Thomas will not come up to bat, he was ejected back in the 6th inning. Cox comes set. The 0-2 pitch to Hayden Grooms. Grooms pulls it foul towards the third base dugout. Resets with an 0-2 count. Do it again. Grooms leads off the top of the 8th. Georgetown bookends the scoring. 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 7th. Dripping Springs split it with 2 in the 4th. So we go to the top of the 8th. The 0-2 pitch to Hayden Grooms. Chop foul towards the third base dugout. 0-2, the count remains. Blake Cox comes set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch to Hayden Grooms. Up and away for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Activity in the third base bullpen for the Tigers. Cox comes set on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Chases it down to the turf. Hole out. He'll throw down to first in time. Second strikeout for Cox as he strikes out Hayden Grooms for round number 1 on the drop third strike. 2-3 on the putout. And David Fluid will step in. He's 3 for 3 in the ball game. RBI single in the first, single in the 4th. One scoring has him with a single in the 6th. One has him with an error. Reaching on an error. First pitch swinging, fouls it off back to the net. 4 strike 1, 0-1 the count. Jalen Hunter in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. The 0-1 pitch, Fluid swinging, high fly ball. Shortstop still will call for it. Settle under it and make the play for out number 2. They have 6 in the book to retire Fluid for out number 2. And 2 quick outs. Instead, Jalen Hunter. Jalen Hunter, the junior, bats right, throws right, steps in here. With 2 outs and the base is empty in the top of the 8th. Braden Rogers on deck. First pitch to Hunter in there on a breaking pitch for a called strike 1. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch to Hunter. Skips in for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Junior second baseman, Jalen Hunter. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, back to the net. 1-2 the count now to Jalen Hunter. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Hunter back in. Cox comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Low and away, skips in there for ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Hunter, fly ball into shallow right field. The second baseman, Perry, settles under it, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Eagles go in order here in the top of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. After 7.5, 2-2 your score. Bottom of the 8th coming up here on SHN Sports. Stay with us. Back here at Tiger Field, we go to the bottom of the 8th. Dripping Springs will send up the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Gavin Holt, Trey Perry, and Jason Still against Hayden Grooms on for his 3rd inning of work for Georgetown. Holt, the catcher, steps in from the left side. The first pitch skips in for ball 1. On the ball game, Gavin Holt flew out to left field in the 3rd inning, grounded out to first in the 5th. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Leads things off here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 pitch. Called ball 2. 2-0 the count. Grooms from the windup, first base side of the rubber. The 2-0 pitch. Line drive, shot to right field. The ball is back, and it is gone. A walk-off home run for Gavin Holt. What a shot by the number 9 hitter, the catcher. Gavin Holt in Georgetown, or Dripping Springs, walks it off 3-2 here at home over the Georgetown Eagles. A solo home run in the leadoff slot of the 8th inning. Touch them all. Georgetown drops the ball game 3-2 in 8 innings. sure what's going on down the third baseline. But the ball game is over on a leadoff, walk-off home run by Gavin Hull, the catcher, hitting in the 9 slot, 0 for 2 in the ball game, and puts it over the right center field wall for the walk-off home run, and Dripping Springs wins it 3-2 over your Georgetown Eagles. Next action for Georgetown will be Thursday night back home against the Cedar Ridge Raiders. Tomorrow night, Camp Brightside, 6:45. Come join us. It'll be an interesting talk as we talk about this one tomorrow night at the Coaches Show, live at Camp Brightside. Thanks for joining us live here at Dripping Springs tonight. The Eagles fall 3-2 to the Dripping Springs Tigers. Have a good evening, everybody. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night.